Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns, The Dark Knight Triumphant Edition. This is the second Dark Knight Returns Batman that Mafex has made so far, and the first one was fantastic. This one is sporting the blue and gray colors, and it's battle damaged. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, The Dark Knight Returns by Mafex, Medicom Toys, Batman, The Dark Knight Triumphant by DC. Here he is in the package. Comes with a bunch of different hands, an unmasked Bruce Wayne head. He's got a cowl for the back of his neck. Looks like some batarangs back here, and he's sporting his battle damaged look. At the top, The Dark Knight Returns. One side, here's the figure posed up, Dark Knight Returns. The other side, here he is with the unmasked head, Dark Knight Returns again, and this is the 119th Mafex figure. At the bottom, there's a bunch of credits and a barcode in case that happens to help anybody. And then the back, here he is in a bunch of different poses. Here are his accessories. The Dark Knight Returns. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did end up getting two of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch Batman related unopened action figure collection. And here he is, next to the previous black and gray Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman. So as we start to unbox this and take the figure out, we're welcomed by the cover of the Dark Knight Returns #2. Looking fantastic so far. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with a flight stand, 8 alternate hands totaling 10 interchangeable hands. He has an unmasked alternate Bruce Wayne head and a cowl for the back of his neck, and he also comes with 4 batarangs. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So I'll tell you, my first thoughts and reactions to this guy, he looks great. He has that very unique style to him. It looks like he jumped right off the page of The Dark Knight Returns. He's battle damaged. You can see his skin there, kind of dirty, kind of beat up. His teeth are exposed. He's angry. The white eyes. The blue looks fantastic on this guy. Going further down, he's got the battle damage on his chest. It's sculpted. It looks great. He's got a wire on the front of both sides of the cape. Long, blue flowing cape. It looks excellent. It's longer than the first release. He's got the plastic at the top here. I'm not feeling that, although it blends in a lot better on this one than the other guy. Looks like double jointed elbows. You can even see the damage on his fists. It looks really cool. The belt looks great. All the different pouches. The yellow looks fantastic. The sculpting lines all over him. The wrinkles just screams Dark Knight Returns. Damage above his knee. Damage on his knee. Looks like double jointed knees. This guy looks great so far. He's a very unique version of Batman from the cover of Dark Knight Returns #2, and I'm loving it. I mean, look at the face. The detail on this thing is excellent. He looks like he's angry, maybe in pain, and maybe smiling a little bit because he just enjoys what he does that much. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the stand. So his stand comes in 3 different parts. When it's fully assembled, this is what it's going to look like. It's got the clear base at the bottom, and then it's got this flight post right here. It can rotate. It's also going to be hinged at the bottom, hinged in the center, hinged at the top, can rotate at the top, and then it's got this clamp to be able to hold your figure. Now let's check out his hands. He's got a total of 10 of them. As you can see, each one of the right hands has the damaged knuckles. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists, and he gets a lot of use out of his fists in The Dark Knight Returns. And here's his next pair of hands. These are similar to his fists, but they have a very small slit in them. They could hold the cape. They should also be able to hold a batarang. And here's his next pair of hands. These are some completely flat hands. They could be down at his sides. They can also make that pose where he's flying in the air with Carrie Kelly, one hand holding his cape and one hand flat and extended. And here's his next pair of hands. I describe these as some grabbing or throwing hands. And here's his final pair of hands. These are a couple of semi-open gripping hands. The right hand has a smaller grip, should be able to hold his cape or possibly a batarang, and his left hand has a larger grip. Now let's look at his heads. He has two of them, one with the mask on, one with the mask off. Both are a little bit beat up, and then he has a cowl to hang behind his neck. Here he is with his first head on, and here he is with his old man unmasked Bruce Wayne head. This thing's beat up. You can see his eye is black. I must say, this looks fantastic. Looks like it jumped right off the pages. Great job, Mafex. And you can see the cowl hanging in the back. And his next accessory is going to be his batarangs. He has 4 of them. They're silver. Here he is holding one of the batarangs. And here he is holding all 4 of the batarangs. Dark Knight Returns style between his fingertips. Now let's look at and talk about his cape. This cape is longer than the original black and gray release, and I like that. It's not so long that it's obnoxious like the Hush Batman, but it is a very fine medium. It does seem like it's a little bit too long. Maybe the next release will get it just right between the two. This thing has sort of a folded look to it. It can stretch out very big. It looks really cool. The color of blue they use, very nicely done. It does have a wire on both sides. You can twist it any way you'd like. Get at the bottom, going up, going to the back. Very, very nicely done, Mafex. And here's his cape stretched out, not even to the max. I must say, I'm really feeling this cape. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 6.5 inches tall, which can translate to about 16.5 centimeters. Now let's look at his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down about that far. He can tilt his head from side to side, giving him a nice amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint, you can go out about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. There is a butterfly joint between the shoulder and chest, just increasing the range of motion in his shoulder here. He's got a bicep cut below that. You can see he's got more battle damage on either one of the shoulders. Double jointed elbows, they go in about this far. His wrist, it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate from side to side, go forward and back a little bit. He's got another ball joint in his waist, can also rotate around, also go forward and back, giving him a pretty nice range of motion in his torso here. Legs go out about this far, ball joints, drop down hips as well, as you can see, can push them back up. Then go forward about that far, back, not too much. They can rotate independently against the ball here. Double jointed knees, go back that far. Then his ankle here, it's got a ball, it goes up and down. It can rotate, can tilt and rock as well. And there's toe articulation. Here's the old man Bruce Wayne sitting at the Bat computer, looking fantastic. Here's my attempt to recreate the image where both Batman and Robin are gliding through the air. Now this is the Mattel Carrie Kelly. It is the most articulated Carrie Kelly that has been released so far, but she sure can't even come close to achieving that pose, at least until Mafex releases their version. Here's this Batman in the junkyard, getting ready to take on the mutant leader. And here he is, riding on a horse, just like in The Dark Knight Returns. And then, here he is taking his place on my Dark Knight Returns shelf, with all my different Dark Knight Returns Batman figures. And above that is my Mutant Gang. And above that, the Sons of Batman Gang. Now let's check them out, compared with some other action figures, starting off with some other Mafex figures. Here he is, next to Mafex's first Dark Knight Returns Batman. This one's in the black and gray suit, and I must say, I find myself preferring this blue and gray Triumphant Batman quite a bit more. This figure is just very well done. And here he is, next to the recently released Mafex Hush Batman. He also came in both a blue and a black variant. Then, here he is next to some of my favorite Mafex Batman figures they've made. From left to right, we've got the Dark Knight 3.0 Batman. We've got the Mafex Black Hush Batman. We've got the Dark Knight Returns Triumphant Batman. We've got the Justice League Batman. And then we have the Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. And here he is with all the different Mafex Batman figures they've made so far. From left to right, we've got the Dark Knight Batman 1.0, Dark Knight Batman 2.0, Dark Knight Batman 3.0, Batman Begins Batman, Batman Begins Fear Hallucination Batman, the Blue Hush Batman, the Black Hush Batman, the Dark Knight Triumphant Batman, the Dark Knight Returns Batman, Batman vs. Superman Batman, Batman vs. Superman Nightmare Batman, Batman vs. Superman Armored Batman, Justice League Batman, and the Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. Now let's check him out next to some other Dark Knight Returns figures. Here he is with the original 4 DC Direct Dark Knight Returns figures. These are very old, poorly articulated, but pretty nicely detailed, and definitely hold a special place in my heart. Many years later, DC Direct released a repaint 4-pack of the same 4 figures. They also made a 2-pack over the years, and I'd love to track that down. DC Direct also made some Dark Knight Returns figures from the new Batman Adventures cartoon. These guys are very stylized, even more so than your typical Dark Knight Returns figures. And here he is with my entire Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns collection. This is Mezco's version of the same battle-damaged Dark Knight Triumphant Batman. And here he is next to the entire Mattel Dark Knight Returns collection. From left to right, we've got the Old Man Bruce Wayne head on a Mattel wrestling body. Then we've got the Black Armored Batman, specifically based off a cover. Then we've got the Old Man Bruce Wayne head on the Armored Batman. Then we've got the Armored Batman with the helmet on. Then we've got the Blue and Gray Dark Knight Returns Batman. And then the Black and Gray Dark Knight Returns Batman. And here is the Mafex Dark Knight Triumphant Batman. Then we got the Carrie Kelly Robin, the Joker, the Mutant Leader, Dark Knight Returns Superman, and the black version of the Dark Knight Returns Superman. Then we've got the Mattel Dark Knight Returns sequel figures. And we don't like to talk about the Dark Knight Returns sequels, as frankly, they're all pretty bad. Now let's check them out, compared with some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. I'll start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect and work my way smaller, and I'll try to include as many Batman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And here he is, next to some McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batman figures. And here he is, next to some NECA Batman figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods Batman figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Batman figures. And here he is, next to some more of his Mafex brothers. Then, here he is next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Batman figures. And finally, here he is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this Batman figure is great. He is just awesome. He looks amazing. His articulation is great. His accessories are a little bit on the weak side. Beyond the stand and hands, he just comes with a few small batarangs. But I'll just tell you, this guy's sculpting and paint detail is amazing. He looks just like he came off the pages of The Dark Knight Returns. Very well done. Home run Mafex. If I were to rate this guy, I'd give him a very strong 8.5 out of 10. I think he has surpassed, at least in my opinion, the previous Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman, and that's a bold statement. I can't wait for their next 2-pack with Batman and Carrie Kelly. Hopefully that'll be just as good as this. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comments section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.